Let's break this down. So this is a linear function. So with linear functions, we come with this format where it's called m times x plus b. Let me clean that up a little bit. So y is equal to m times x plus b, where we know that the m value is our slope. So the value that's always in front of the x is known as your slope of the line. And then the value off by itself, which we call b, is known as the y-intercept. So where I cross the y-axis. When x is equal to 0, what do I get? It's also known as your starting value and all these other things. So we look at that. If we have the equation y equals 4x plus 5, we can see the slope just like that. There it is. So we know that m is equal to 4. Our slope is equal to 4 from that equation. It's that easy to identify. So we plug in a 4 right there. All right. The y-intercept. So once again, that's just as easy also because it's in this nice format, the slope-intercept format. The y-intercept is just that value right there. That means our y-intercept is going to be equal to 5. So we come over here and we plug in the 5 and we see that we got it right. Let's see if that's anything else. All right. So now they want us to graph. So to be able to graph this, what happens is that we have to think about this idea and say, okay, like the best place to start is, I like to think of the y-intercept as your starting point. And so what I mean is that I'm going to go to the y-axis and I'm going to start at 5. So we're going to grab this tool. Go to the y-axis, grab this tool. I'm going to go to the y-axis, and on the 5, on the y-axis, I'm going to go ahead and plot it. All right, and I get my line. I can move my line around. Now, my slope can also be known as my rise over run, kind of refreshing some memory. So slope is equal to the rise over the run, the change in the y over the change in the x. So that means that our slope is going to be 4 over 1. So we have to put that 1 underneath there to make that into a fraction. And so what that means is that I'm going to rise 4 for every 1 that I run. I'm going to go 4 up on the y-axis and go over on positive on, in this case, it'd be right on the x-axis. And so when we graph that, that means I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. So now if we count that, you'll see from my starting point, I have a rise of 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. So go ahead, I click save. It accepts that. I check my answer, and it tells us great job. All right. So slope-intercept form, being able to pull those values from there to be able to plot, super valuable inside of an algebra class. Even if you're graphing things, if you want to look at data displays and be able to determine